So for part one of our mini practical, I'll be setting up two swings, which consist of a cuddle and frog swing. Next, I will be showing the setup of a scooter board ramp for prone positioning on a scooter board. And then I will be showing the 3 points of contact to ensure safety of the kiddo. Next, I'll be working on a positioning device with a wedge. And finally, I'll be talking about a weighted equipment specifically for a weighted vest, and I'll be talking about its indications and contraindications for use of the weighted vest. All right, so now we are going to set up our frog swing. So we need to make sure that our eye bolt is stable, but since I am vertically challenged, I do need some help. So I have a box. I'm going to place it directly in line with the eye bolt. Make sure that it's stable. Now that we have our rope set up, now we're going to set up our frog swing. So you have to make sure that the carabiner is upright. Place the carabiner into the hook of the adjuster, and then we're going to adjust it a little bit higher up. So I am going to hold on. I'm going to pull up on this little latch to adjust it. So let me check. It is a little bit too high, so we have to lower it down. Alright, so now we are going to remove the frog swing from the rope. So I'm going to step on the box, unhook the carabiner from the hook, and I'm going to place it down. I'm going to step back on the box, and then I'm going to lower down this, and then I'm going to unhook the carabiner onto the eye bolt. And we're almost done. So now we are going to set up our cuddle swing. So before we start, since I am vertically challenged again, I'm going to use a box and make sure it's in line with the eye bolt and ensure that the eye bolt is stable. And now we're going to grab our rope, make sure the carabiner is upright position. We're going to step up and then hook the carabiner onto the eye bolt. And then we have to lower it down, so there's a lever right over here. You're gonna push up and it goes down.
1, 2, go.
All right, so now we are gonna set up our cuddle swing. So you have to make sure that the carabiner is in an upright position. I'm gonna step onto the box and I'm gonna place the carabiner into the lever. And it's a little bit too low to be at mid-shin, so I'm going to adjust it. So there's going to be a lever right here. I'm going to pull up and pull up. And you want to make sure it's at shin level. Put it a little bit higher. And our cuddle swing is all set up because it is at mid-shin. Just like that. And now I'm going to remove the cuddle swing out of the rope. So I'm going to place my box, unhook the carabiner from the lever. And now I am going to unhook the rope from the eye bolt. So unhook the carabiner. And we're all done. Alright, so now we are going to set up our scooter board ramp for Superman, or also known as prone, working on prone.
One more big throw. Or you know what? You want to throw with your feet? Maybe your feet are stronger. Okay, ready? Go!
So we have our ramp set up, we have our crash pad, and now we want to make sure that the scooter board is placed upside down to ensure safety. We have our kiddo. His name is Alex. So before we start, we're going to turn around our scooter board and place him on the scooter board in tummy side. And before he goes on the ramp, we have to make sure we have 3 points of contact. We have to ensure that our foot is in front of the board before he goes down. I have my other hand on his back for contact guard assist, and we have our other hand right in front of the caster wheel. And then we want to make sure that he has those Superman hands, so when he goes down and crashes into the crash pad. All right, Alex, you ready? Make sure you have Superman hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have our kiddo. We're gonna work on sitting activity on a wedge. The wedge will help with stability of the trunk and posture. So when we place our kiddo onto the wedge, we want to start at the pelvis, making sure that there is that 90, 90, 90, 90 at the hips, 90 at the knees, 90 at the ankle. And then we can work on, so this is used to work on sitting activities. And we can also use the wedge for prone activities, which is good for weight bearing and also trunk stability. So I'm just gonna place our little kiddo on prone. Hands are up, so weight bearing. And then making sure at the pelvis. And he can do activities like puzzles. So now we have our weighted vest. This is good for proprioception input. So you want to make sure that the vest is no more than 10 to 20% of the kiddo's weight. And you want to make sure that the vest is on and off at most 20 minutes, and it should not exceed more than 30 minutes according to research. And also you should not wear this overnight when you're sleeping. For part 2, I will be demonstrating an intervention on case number 30 for baby Danielle. Dad will be there for the intervention and obstacle course and will assist me as the OT. At the end, I will be giving Dad a parent education on the sensory motor equipment that was used for the obstacle course and explain the use, the precautions, and contraindications for the equipment. Alright, guys, so now we are going to be doing an obstacle course with your kiddo Danielle. So we are good. I know she does cry with linear movement, so we're just gonna go very slowly. So we have a platform swing low to the ground. Put her on here, and I know her preferred toy. She is very cautious. I do have a little ball. We'll have it right here. She's already smiling. I'm gonna have her hold onto the rope and just be able to hold this position, and she's not crying, which is a really good sign.
Yeah. Good, sweetie.
And we're gonna have subtle linear movements. Alright, now we're gonna hop on jelly beans, and you have your little ball. Right. So I'm gonna hold her hand, and we're gonna walk on jelly beans. 1, 2, 3. All done. I have your ball. Now we're going to crash on loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Crash. And then Dad will help me with pillow squishes. So you can get that other hand, Dad. And we'll do squishes. 1, 2, 3. Squish. Squish. Squish.
Did you like that?
All done. All right, we have your ball. One more activity. And now we have a horsey. We're going to work on prone sitting. I know she does cry when she moves position, so we're just going to have this as tolerated. Have your ball. Lie down. Good. Oh, you're crying? All right, push up. Good job. All right, have your favorite ball. Right? Reach. Good job. One more. I like how you use your hands to reach for ball. Next time, use both hands. Good job. All done. Hi, Danielle's dad. Thank you so much for joining us on our obstacle course for today's session. Danielle did fantastic. So a little bit about the equipment we use for the obstacle course. We started off with a platform swing, which was low to the ground. From our eval we had last week, I wanted to ensure that we did not overwhelm Danielle. But before starting, you told me that she had a preferred toy, which was that green ball. And it seemed like that toy was a highly motivating factor for her to keep going with the obstacle course from beginning to end. So when we started swinging, I didn't want to start swinging her yet on the platform swing so she can adjust her head position, her spatial orientation, her spatial awareness was intact, which is also known as her vestibular system. So now I want to get into the precautions and contraindications of using any type of swing equipment. Mats must be placed underneath the swing to cover the full swinging circumference, and the kiddo must be within the therapist's arm length reach at all times. The swing is not going to be used if clients have seizures triggered by vestibular or visual stimulations. However, if the kiddo is managing seizures with medications, it is advised to only use linear movements. And some precautions when using the swing include sweating, hiccuping, some blushing or facial redness. And also, you need to observe the kiddo's facial and behavioral reactions for sudden change. So, if there is signs of distress, and once you observe them, slowly stop that vestibular input and provide grounding proprioceptive input. This may include stopping the swinging and placing the kiddo's feet on a squishy pad to modulate themselves. So once we were finished with the swinging, we worked on stepping stones. I used bean bags to emulate jelly beans so that Danielle had both a visual cue and a tactile or touching input on stepping on a stepping stone. So since she is starting to take a couple steps when she is walking with either you or mom or cruising on with furniture, Danielle did great holding my hand when she was stepping on the stepping stones, and we did 3 steps, which was great. She was also very motivated when I had that ball in my hand because she just wanted to keep going because I had that ball in my hand at all times. So after we did the jelly bean or the stepping stones, we went on the crash pad, or also known as the big pillow, to work on gross motor skills of jumping. So once Danielle jumped onto the crash pad, we both, you and I, Dad, got on the ends of the pillows and gave her pillow squishes. Pillow squishes are great for that proprioception input, which offers deep pressure and a calming input. We both said squish in a calm register to not overwhelm Danielle and to modulate her since she did a lot of work in that obstacle course. She did some walking, jumping, and swinging beforehand. And finally, we ended our obstacle course on the peanut ball, or also the horsey. I wanted to sit her on the ball, then put her in that prone position as tolerated, then have Danielle push up. This is a great activity to work on weight bearing, trunk stability, core stability, and also head and neck control. Also, since we used her preferred toy, which was that green ball, I wanted her to reach. So reaching from that midline and using both hands. And then I had her reach in the midline using both hands together simultaneously. By doing this activity on the peanut ball, she was able to engage her sensory, proprioception, and vestibular systems. So when using the peanut ball, make sure you are always with the kiddo and having proper body mechanics. So making sure you have that straight back and you are never leaving the kiddo's side, and making sure that the ball is on the mat. Thank you, Dad, for being part of our session today. Danielle did great, and I am excited to continue to work with her as she grows and develops. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. And thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.